are more Indian than any guy regular out on a food walk.
Yeah, but don't forget, everybody in India has an opinion. So now there's all these people going, ginger? No! 15 minutes? No! You must cook this for 3 hours.
From MasterChef Australia to India's mega festival, he has traveled the globe to explore some of the most exquisite dishes to the weirdest cuisines ever. But his food journal stops at one place time and again, India. A fan of Indian spices, a lover of Indian festivals. A chef who couldn't get more Indian than a regular guy out on an Indian food walk. We welcome Gary Mehigan.
I like it. That's a good intro. That's a great intro. Love it.
Thank you so much. So Gary, welcome to HerZindagi.
Thank you.
Welcome to India.
Again?
Again.
Yeah, I've been a regular visitor, certainly for the last 2 years.
Okay, so my first question would be, who would Gary Mehigan be if not a chef?
Sad. Just sad, Gary. Really, no, honestly. Yeah, I couldn't think of anything. You know, when I was younger, I'd go, oh, maybe I'll be a fighter pilot or a fireman or an engineer, but I couldn't really imagine doing anything else and being happier. I always remember my father, who was an engineer, and he said, you know what, if you enjoy 80% of your job, think yourself really lucky. And now I think, wow, how lucky I am, because I reckon I like 99.9% of what I do. So poor dad, like he obviously didn't really love what he did.
So that's the only thing that you love enjoying, that you love
I couldn't
doing.
imagine doing anything else. And even if you look at my Insta handle, you know, obsessed with, you know, long winding roads to who knows where, because I love motorcycling and I love adventure, I love travel. And to be able to combine that with food, because they go hand in hand, not for everyone, could be architecture, art, music, but for me it's food. And so I couldn't think of a better thing to do.
When you scroll your Instagram, what's that, you know, what's come in your feed mostly? Is it food?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'm like, I don't monetize my Instagram. Like, people go, why don't you monetize it? You know, because I've got a few followers, not as many as some of the big Indian stars. I grant you that, but it's just what I love to post, and most of it's in stories actually. And everybody keeps telling me too, you know, not everything on stories. Put it in your feed. Do this. Oh, I don't care. I just shoot stuff that appeals to me. So when I'm traveling, it's things that catch my eye. When I'm at home, when I remember, I go, wow, this looks nice, and I'll shoot it. Other times I eat something delicious and go, I forgot to put it on my Insta. So yeah, it's just stuff I love. And actually, if you look in my stories, you can just go through. I just go, yeah, India, March 2024, for example. Or I'll put Chitrai because, you know, I was at the festival. Or I'll put Konosh because I was here, you know, doing 6 dinners. So yeah, it's just you'll find my dogs, you find my garden. You'll find my motorbikes, you know, stuff like that. Every day kind of thing.
Generally, when we talk about Indian household, you know, Indian food, it's always served with women. But in hotel industry, hospitality, it's completely different.
Yeah.
How do you see that?
Well, it was. It's not anymore. Like if you step back a house here now, where we are at the Taj in Gurgaon, you'll find that, you know, a substantial portion of the brigade is female, and lots of young women in the industry. So yeah, and actually at one point I remember the change, probably in the early 2000s in Australia, where all the key positions in my businesses, and I had 2 restaurants and a catering company, all of them were women. And not through being deliberate about it, not saying, right, I'm going to employ women, but just because they were the best people for their job.
Did you get chance to eat some of the Indian household food?
Sure,
like
lots.
Regular food?
Yeah, lots. Yeah. Like
What did you love the most?
It's like, you know what, it's like anything. In a fancy restaurant, there's an old saying in the restaurant industry, perfect delivery, imperfect experience. You can go to, I don't know if this makes sense to you, you can go to the fanciest restaurant, everything's wonderful, everything's perfectly served, and yet it doesn't really connect with you.
Absolutely.
It's imperfect, and you never go back.
It's not a soul food.
It's not soul food. If you go to somebody's house, the first thing that happens when you walk through a generous person's door, are you hungry? Are you thirsty?
Yes.
It's nothing better. I love that. So it can be something very simple. It could be just dal chawal. It's wonderful. It could be a spread, you know, a feast fit for a king, and it's wonderful. So yeah, simplest things.
And what makes you come back to India again and again? And you know, what is that one thing that's hooking you to India?
I just find it fascinating. I've done a lot of, I think the food initially, like I love spicy food. I love Southeast Asia generally. I love Vietnamese food, Korean food. I love Japanese food. Yeah, you name it. I love it. But, you know, it's often, you know, when we try and talk about Indian food, it's like, you know, people say, what's the one dish that encapsulates India? And I go, what a ridiculous
question.
Like, what a ridiculous question. It's like saying, what's the one dish that encapsulates Europe's food?
No, that
You can't.
cannot be.
Sicily is worlds apart from, say, Norway.
Yeah.
So it's the same here. Nagaland and Tamil Nadu have got nothing in common with each other.
Absolutely.
Language, you know,
Culture,
religion,
food,
culture, food, everything. The one thing that unites them is the flag of being Indian, but it's totally different. So it's, I think it's that diversity within one, you know, country.
Absolutely.
You could be in 20 different countries. You know, like being up in Nagaland, for example, and experiencing, you know, the pride of those 17 Naga tribes,
Yeah,
you know, the
I saw
Ao tribe
that.
and the Chakusan tribe and their food and have you tried this and have you eaten this? And some of it's really quite confronting for a lot of us. You know, like people go, did you eat insects? I go, yeah,
I
a
saw
lot.
that.
But you put it in context. Some people, you know, Instagram, social media is full of, you know, chuck up emojis and, you know, that's disgusting. And I go, before you make comment, put it in context of where it is. Put it in context of its culture, its history, its people, what it means to them, where it comes from. And then people are like, oh, yeah, you're right.
Okay, what do you think is a perfect art of blending international spirits with traditional Indian cuisines?
So when you blend, say, you know, a whiskey, for example, with a dish, you're looking for one or two notes. Could be honey, could be toffee, could be smoky peaty, with something that's going to be in your dish that you know, and you kind of instinctively know is going to work.
How do you think that Ardmore whiskey, which you are, you know, going to use in your
using
dinner,
it already,
how do you think it will complement the flavors, the masalas, how it will be blend?
Like I said, it's simple. It's, you know, if you can pick out a note in a dish and in a drink, like the Ardmore, for example, so we know that there are...
What's the best note?
Well, it depends what you're combining it with, right? So if you put...
For example, if I take a vegetarian dish.
Well, if you took, for example, we've got a savoury Basque cheesecake, which is normally sweet, and we're making a savoury version with goat's cheese, and we're serving that with a smoked confit tomato, like little cherry tomatoes, beautiful, lots of colours, and olive oil, this kind of little grassy notes, little peppery notes in it.
Yeah.
Straight away, I know that that's going to work with citrus notes, smoky notes, peaty notes. It's not that hard. You eat it, you drink it, you eat it, you drink it, you go, that tastes nice, I like that.
So now,
and we know that. I mean, the nice
now
thing,
I know what to do. Heat it and drink it. Heat it and drink it. So, and have you ever collaborated with an Indian chef?
Yeah, a few. We did a dinner last year with Saranj Goyla, for example. I've worked with Ranveer Brar before. So anybody that is, I don't know, in love with food in the same way that all the rest of us are.
It's a language of food that
we're all part of the same club. It's okay.
So I'm saying one message you want to give to young home chefs that they should learn, like they should have some advice, some keynotes that in their career, how they should go about it.
Most of the conversations I have with home cooks, and even reluctant home cooks, because let's be honest, cooking home, learning to cook at home, even for young people, is one of the best skills you'll have in life.
Correct.
If you can cook fresh, healthy food at home, not only will it look after your body and soul, it's going to look after your wallet as well. You stop ordering off the internet, stop ordering off social media platforms or off food platforms all the time, and cook at home. It's the best thing you can do for your family, for yourself, for your future. So then what I always say to people is find the thing that you really enjoy cooking and become really good at that. And then, so for example, what are you good at cooking?
I cook everything. I cook dal chawal, I cook paneer.
So let's say dal chawal. I can rely on you at any time for a great dal chawal. And I love that. I think that's really important. And I find particularly people that are reluctant cooks, is just to find the one thing that they're happy to cook at and then go get really good at that.
Comfort food.
Yeah, and then in the family, they go, you're good at dal chawal. It's Tuesday night, dal chawal.
Fantastic. And one state whose cuisine blew you away. It can be good or bad, both.
Blew me away. Blew me away. I think Nagaland blew me away, just in terms of this idea of foraged and fermented. Really interesting. Tasted things there that I've never really tasted. And without that palette of spices, you know, if anything, you know, wild ginger, pepper, that's about it. But then at the other end of the country, I love South Indian food, you know, so, you know, this exploration of kind of coconut and curry leaves and spice in a different context to, say, North Indian, I really love. Like, I could eat appam for the rest of my life, quite happily. And we went to a restaurant in Delhi here last night, and we had a few creative appams, and they were just delicious.
Where did you went?
Bhavan.
Bhavan. Oh, it's
Yeah.
amazing. The food is fantastic.
Food's great.
It's great.
And
in
so we had
Bhavan.
an appam with like a prawn fry with a poach. So instead of the egg cooked in the appam, it was poached and then had a sauce on top. I think it was like a, I don't know, spicy sriracha type, hollandaise or something. Oh my God, beautiful. So yeah. So a lot of those breads, like, it always makes me laugh when say a international pizza chain comes to India and makes bad pizza. And I go, has no one ever come to India and seen how good the bread is? Do you know what I mean? Like, even if you made pizza on naan bread, it would be better than that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
If you think about it, whether it's poi bread from Goa or if it's a Malabar paratha or a roti or a bun paratha, India is the master of bread. Just simple chapati, amazing. I could keep going on. Blah, 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 blah.
That comes to an end of the interview. That was an amazing chat with you,
Cool.
Gary.
Thank you.
I love having conversation with you. Every time it's an amazing experience. Somebody who live food and breathe food is what Gary Mehigan is for me.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for watching HerZindagi. This is me, Ashima Jain, signing off.